It's that time of year again. The year 2024 has gone by so quickly, and I'm now looking once again for some suggestions, some input from you about who we should do next in the Worlds of Speculative Fiction series. So I'll tell you a little bit about that, just in case you're not completely familiar with it, in just a bit, and who we already have lined up. But first, I'm going to tell you about this, solicitation, let's call it. So every year, around this time, I put out a call for suggestions, for proposals, for wild ideas about who I haven't covered yet in the series, which has been going on since 2016, and who you would like to see me reading and then reflecting on and talking about and holding a session in Worlds of Speculative Fiction. So you can leave it as a comment on this video. And then what I will do, if somebody else, by the way, has suggested the same person, that is great, because what I'm going to do is I will look at who gets mentioned the most, and how many likes there are on different comments that people are giving, and then out of the big field, there's usually about 20 or so authors that wind up getting suggested, some of whom aren't actually speculative fiction, some of whom will be other things, but 20 good ones usually. I will take the top 6, and then in December, we'll have an actual vote. And everybody gets to weigh in, if they want to, about who it is that we should give the 3 remaining slots to for 2025 in October, November, and December. Which authors should get in there? So this is the very first part of the process. Make your suggestions, put them as comments below. If you want to, you can click, the thumbs up on other people's comments. If you see somebody that you'd like, it's okay to duplicate comments. You don't have to say why you want to see a certain author, but it would be helpful if they're an author that's known for more than one series of works, if you say what series it is. So, Worlds of Speculative Fiction is about series where it could be short stories, it could be novels. There is a shared narrative universe. So think Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, and The Hobbit, right? J.R.R. Tolkien's world of Middle-earth, actually of Arda, if we go into the Silmarillion, or think about Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea 6 books, right? It's all set in Earthsea. But Ursula K. Le Guin also has another set of books which are sci-fi, set in a universe that is called the Heinlein cycle, which we've already done a session on. So think about that sort of stuff, and the ones that you really enjoy and you'd like to see me tackling and talking about. This, by the way, is often how I get introduced to great authors who went under the radar for me because I was too busy or doing something else or wasn't paying attention. There have been so many great authors who I have read because other people kept saying, oh man, you got to read this person. I'd love to see you do a video or an entire series about this person. So, I do want to say, if you're not familiar with this Worlds of Speculative Fiction series, we have been doing it since 2016, so we've covered a lot of authors and a lot of series already. So you do want to make sure that you take a look in the video description at who we actually have covered, or you can go to the page that has all of the sessions and the videos that we've done so far linked to. So you're not suggesting somebody, you're not wasting a suggestion by suggesting, hey, do Roger Zelazny's Chronicles of Amber. We've already done that, or do this, author, this series that we've already done as well, and there is room for doing more, as you're going to see. So, for example, we've done some of Michael Moorcock's Elric of Melniboné novels, but we haven't done all of them. We've done some Terry Pratchett, Discworld stuff, but we haven't done all of them. But one of those is already in the mix for this coming year. So let me tell you who we have coming up. You might be, interested or tantalized to find out who we're going to be doing, and then you don't have to suggest them. So let me give you the rundown. In January, we are returning to Stephen Erikson's Malazan Book of the Fallen. We'll be looking at the 5th and the 6th book in that series. We've already done 2 sessions, one on the 1st and 2nd, one on the 3rd and 4th book. They're pretty massive tomes, really rich world building. So we're going to be kicking the year off with something pretty cool. Then in February, we're going way back to my childhood. Every once in a while, I use this as an opportunity to reread stuff that I thought was cool a long time ago, but I'm not sure if it still is. And this will be some young adult novels, or actually maybe children's books. Susan Cooper's The Dark is Rising 5-book series, which I remember loving as a elementary and middle schooler. And, we'll see how they measure up in the present. In March, we'll be returning to the world of Andrzej Sapkowski, the great Polish writer of the Witcher series. We did books 1 through 4 of the series a while back. We're going to do books 5 through 8, and they're, not super, super long, so that's pretty feasible. In April, another coming back to a narrative universe, we're going to be looking at Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files. This time, we're going to be looking at books 5 through 8. We did books 1 through 4, sort of introducing the series, main characters, dealing with some vampires, some werewolves, and some other things as well. This time, we're going to be looking at some more monsters that Dresden is going to be dealing with. In May, we're also returning again to Terry Pratchett's Discworld. We did the Rincewind novels. We did the Death and Susan novels. Now we're going to be focusing in on some, not all, but some of the witch novels. There's an awful lot of them in the series. And then in June, we're going to be coming to something that people have been asking for a very long time, and it's going to be continuing on to July because it's a longer series. So David Eddings, well, you know what it's going to be, the Belgariad, right? So we're going to do the first 3 books, hopefully, in June, and then we'll do the last 2 books, one of which is a bit longer than the others, in July. Then we got a couple holdovers from this year that I didn't get to. So in August, we're going to be doing Ken Liu's Dandelion Dynasty, the first 2 books of that series. And then we'll finish up in September, at least with the things that I'm picking. We're not finished with the series, with Christopher Ruccio, the Sun Eater series, which is at this point 6-book series. We're going to do the first 2 books of that series. They're kind of long, so, we'll see how much we can get through. And that's when it gets to you. So October, November, December, we got 3 slots open. Make your suggestions. Think about who you'd really like to see me reading and talking about and engaging with, the key philosophical themes and the world building and talking a bit about the biography of the writers and their influences and all the sort of things that I do in Worlds of Speculative Fiction. And then we'll put them together. We'll do a vote. You can be involved in that as well. You'll see it posted in my social media, as well as, I'll put a video out about that, to let you know that we're doing the vote. And so, I'm really looking forward to seeing what your suggestions are. I'm willing to bet there's going to be some authors that you bring up that I've never even heard of who might be really awesome for me to read. So just put your suggestions in the comments below. And, if you want to second other people's comments, you can do so by commenting on their comment and saying, yeah, man, do that one. Or, just click the like on it, and I will put them all together. And then in December, we'll do the vote. So I'm going to thank you ahead of time for your suggestions. This is a very important part of the series, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. So nothing more for me to say, just go ahead and leave your suggestions as comments, and I will go through and look at every one of them.